All right, as we venture into our second exercise now, we are going to create an effect that actually is not this. We're going to do an effect that writes the text on for us. And although it looks like a whole lot of work, it's actually not very hard. So let's go do a new composition. I'm going to create a new one, and I'm going to call it Handwrite On. I'm going to put a 2 because I already have one and I don't want to get them confused. All right, so first we need to build our text layer. So we need to be able to pick a font that hopefully has some handwrite sort of qualities to it. However, I'm not going to be too picky about that. I'm going to get my word typed first, and I'm going to type Webster. Why not? You can type whatever you want. I don't care. But go to a line. We'll center this bad boy. And now I'm going to find a better font. So I'm going into my character menu and I'm going to look for something cooler than this. That is a little handwritey. That's pretty cool, but that's a little too weird. Find something you like. That's a little too snazzy for my tastes. I like this one. Turn that off, and I'm going to change my color to green, just to be weird. Oh, I have so many like weirdo fonts. Good one. How do I not have any good handwriting fonts? This is something I need to solve. Hopefully it's not taking you as long to get yours to work as it is me. Ugh. What if I do lowercase? No, I want normal text. Really? That's not normal. That's way too freaking fancy. Ugh. Why is it taking so long to find a font? Ooh, that's cute. I already chose that one, dummy. These are variations of the same theme. All right, hopefully everyone has found a font and you're just waiting on me now. All right, this might work. This one, too bad. Okay. So I'm going to try that trick here. I'm going to do Control or Alt Command, double click on this, put my anchor point in the middle, and then align it to middle. And look at that. It did exactly what it's supposed to do. Love it. I'm going to go a little bigger because bigger's better, I guess. All right. So align again because I scaled it. It's going to make it different. There you go. Nice bullseye centered graphic. Nice and simple. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to trace the steps that we want it to write on with. So we're going to do that by using the pen tool. All right, so let's go to the pen tool, which is going to make a mask. And I'm going to double check that I'm not skipping a step because I don't want to mislead you guys. Okay, stroke effect will let us change that. Okay, good. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to follow the path that you want the magic writing, invisible writing tool to follow as it writes out the words or letters. So I'm going to click through and follow all the range of the letters. And again, you're picking a path. So when you have to jump from letter to letter, it can get a little tricky. And we're doing the simplest approach, but the reality is there can be complexities to making this look the way you want. These points are too close together. There we go. So what I'm saying is it may reveal parts of letters that you don't want yet. So you may have to click off into nothing, because if it's invisible at that point, it'll work just fine. And you can't click on any point you've already drawn, which is fun. So as you can see, I'm having to overshoot some things. And I'm skipping crossing the T at this point. I think we'll be able to move these points when we're done. I'm not 100% sure. Final T. Okay. So I'm going to move one of these points. No, it won't let me move the point. Dang it. All right. We'll be fine. We'll figure it out. All right. So once you've drawn it all out, then you're going to go get an effect called stroke. No stroke jokes, please. And we're going to add it to this item. So, or this layer, I guess is the word I should use. I double clicked it, so it applied it. So your stroke size, you should make as thick as you can so that all the letters get covered. Oh, great. I did 2 masks. Dang it. Somewhere in there, I jumped and I blew it. In mask 1, I have 2 masks. So if I go down to masks, mask 1 gets me through web, and then mask 2 gets me to stir, which is fine. I can still say, all right, math. I don't know if I need to apply this twice. Okay, so if I add stroke again, and I make the second one follow mask 2, second one brush size follow mask 2, then I can technically still accomplish what I was trying to do. I did a poor job on this, let me just say, because I have green that's not revealed here, and I have a connection here with the letter T that doesn't happen, that is jacked up. But we're going to continue the lesson because it's more important that you see how it works. And then if you want to be a perfectionist and go back and do it better, you should. Now I'm going to see if it'll let me move these. Yes, it will let me move these now. Well, that's cool. Does that mean I can add another one? If I put my pen tool back on, can I? I can. I can fix this. Cool. I can add another point if I need, and I can make sure that the entire thing got covered up. Now the only thing that's going to screw me is the fact that there are 2 masks happening. I'll bet you that's going to really screw me up. All right, so if you then open the controls for the stroke effect, and hopefully you didn't do what I do and have to have 2 of these. Yes, we added the stroke effect using the effects presets over here. We searched for the word stroke, and we went down to generate, which is the category that it falls in, and we pulled stroke out. And we can either double click it or we can drag it to this. And then of course your project window, you can jump over to effects controls so you can see the controls for stroke. So you'll notice that if you make the brush strokes thick enough, you can eventually cover up the entirety of what you actually have as a font. And then if you go under these controls, there is a start and an end with no keyframes yet. But if you drag the start over, you can see that it's actually going to follow the path that you drew. And if you grab the end, it will animate in reverse. So these are keyframeable and they need to go from 0 to 100. So you have to basically, if I remember correctly, and I'm going to test this to make sure I'm not doing it wrong, is set an out keyframe, end, and then go back to the beginning, end over. So you end up with 2 keyframes for your end controls. So we actually don't have to move the start ones. We're only moving the end ones. All right. So by having a keyframe set at 0 at the beginning and going to 100% at a point of your choosing, it will write on. It's covering up your text right now, but it's going to turn into a write on kind of thing. All right. Now, the fact that I have 2 is really going to screw me up because my timing is going to be jacked up. It's fun. But I have a visual reference here. So at where this one ends is where I wanted to start writing the other one. So I'm going to go to my other one and go to the end. And I'm going to create an ending point keyframe, which is the beginning of it typing. Then I'm going to go another second over and I'm going to set another keyframe at 100% under the end controls. And now it should time out that my first stroke ends about when the B is done, and then it will start making my STER. So I was able to time it out and do it across 2, and it still worked. But all we're doing is covering stuff up at this point, right? So we haven't really made magic. All we've done is covered up our text, which is not awesome. The element we keep controlling is the end keyframe, okay? So we're going to go under the paint style controls, which again, mine may look different because I have 2 strokes here, which is stupid. But under paint style, right now it's painting on the original image is what you see selected. We want to change that to reveal original image. All right, and you'll want to change that. I have to change it twice. You should, if you screwed up like me, only have to do it once. Now, if you go back to the beginning of your timeline, it does the wrong thing. Why is it not working? It was working. Reveal original. It just did that. That was the right thing. Why is it not working? Ah. Why? Is it working for anyone else? Did it actually, when you turned this to reveal original image,
It works
it
perfectly for me.
Yeah, I was able to get it to work.
So why? What did I do wrong? Is it because I have 2 of them?
Now.
Yeah, probably because you have to mask
Yeah, that's
or
what I
something.
think.
You're right, because I turned off my second one and the first one's working just fine. So does it work in reverse? Do I turn off this? Yep, and my end one works, but the 2 don't work together. All right, so my quick solution of how to fix it of, oh, I'll just do 2 was not the way to do that. So if you're not an idiot, you should have had it just work. And my first one works just fine. And you can see again that you can go in, and if your points aren't right or your brush isn't thick enough, you can always adjust those things. But this is a pretty cool trick because it means you can reveal anything you want using a mask. So if you wanted to, and it's a brush, when you add the stroke effect, it actually then makes it a brush, which you can adjust sizes. So let's say you wanted to reveal an entire, logo. You could actually create a zigzagged mask across the whole thing until it's completely covered the way we were working with it when we were first looking at it, like this. You can zigzag across an entire thing and then boom, it's going to actually reveal it as if it's being painted on. You could go from a black and white image to a color image by having the same thing, one with color and one a black and white version stacked on top of each other, and then you could reveal the element by painting on your color. This is one of those, once you know how to do it, there are endless possibilities to make this magical and do really cool stuff. All right. All right, I am going to stop recording because that is the completion of writing on stuff. Good luck.